Welcome everybody to Photoshop, selecting and filling. So we begin with picking the actor we want to work with. We have a kangaroo picked out here. We've downloaded it from the internet and we've opened it up in Photoshop. We have the image. We want to know what size it is. It's 8.3 by 4.6, 96 pixels per inch. That's fine for what we need to do. Print quality, it takes 2 pixels to make 1 dot of ink. So a magazine would be 133 dots per inch, which is 266, 96. Yeah, that's fine. That'll be fine to do what we need to do. We don't need the color though, and one thing we can do to decrease the size of this image is to go to the image mode, and we'll be able to get rid of the color, and that'll help to reduce the size. Image mode, grayscale. Discard the color. Now we want to work with our canvas stage. We really can work with a larger page. So what we're going to do is go ahead and change the size. Before we do, I'm picking up Window Navigator. This is a great tool to have to quickly move through the image. Also, we are looking at selecting this. So even before I can change the canvas size, I can go ahead and begin to select the kangaroo. And we are using, again, the selection tool. As we click, it's grabbing a bunch of pixels that are similar. We can also hold down the Option key and it will remove selections. Let's zoom in using the navigator and take a look here. We will watch the plus go negative and we will remove pixels from the selection. We'll do the best we can with the quick selection tool, and it'll do pretty well. You'll notice in some cases it's a bit of a struggle, and so we're going to switch to a different tool to refine our we'll switch to a different tool to refine our selection. See if we can get the ears here. We may end up getting a little bit more than we want. We can go in and decrease the actual size of the selection tool. Again, we can add or subtract from the selection. All right, now that is the masking tool, lower left on the toolbar. Now we're grabbing the paint tool and we are going to paint a mask. That's what it looks like. Command Z, I can erase that, remove that, and we are going to confirm that we are at 100% flow. We don't want any smoothing. We're going to increase the hardness of this so that it has rather than a soft edge, it has a hard edge. You can see it there as an example. Again, I'll Command Z and get rid of that. Okay, let's decrease the size of this brush, and we'll be able to get the claws on the very end here. We'll go up back to the top left and let's take it down to 3 pixels. Perfect. And let's keep it at 3, and let's use the space bar here in a second, and we're going to move around the figure and fill in any areas we've missed. And we can also remove mask. And the way you do that is back over here with the switching of the palettes. We're going to put the white on top. And we are now removing mask material. And we can switch now back to the black patch on top, and we are adding mask to fill in these edges that we missed. That's it right over there. It's the foreground color. And I'm just kind of looking for areas that I think need to be filled in. I think the end of the tail needed some work. Yeah, there it is. We'll add that in. And maybe the other legs. I think this is going to do it. We are ready now to select that masking tool again. You just click it again on the lower left over here. Right there. And we now have a selection. Now what is selected? Is it the background or is it the foreground? Is it the background or is it the kangaroo? Well, one way to find out is to image adjustments, change the contrast, brightness, and watch what happens. So we've actually masked and protected the kangaroo. Well, we don't want to do that. We want the kangaroo to not be protected, so we're going to select and inverse our selection. So now we can edit, fill that space with black. Now, we mentioned earlier about making the page bigger, so we're going to do it now with something called canvas size, and I prefer inches over pixels. The page is of course 8.5 by 11, so why don't we make it 8 by 10? We'll anchor the kangaroo at the top. Get that to 8. OK. Proceed. Using Navigator, back out. There we go. OK. Now, we're going to use the shortcut Command A for select all, Command C for copy, Command V for paste. That's what just happened there. And I'm doing it again. Command all, Command copy, Command paste. And now I'm going to edit, transform, and we're scaling it down. And we can use the move tool, move these guys around. We'll move that one up there. You'll notice I'm also moving back and forth to what's called layers. And if I click the little eye next to it, it will hide and reveal that layer. And we're going to continue to create more kangaroos using the same shortcut command of Command all, select all, the copy and paste. And I am positioning them so they are not overlapping. Edit, we're going to transform, we're going to distort this one. Just kind of have fun with the distorting the shape. Give us some variety here. And we're going to move it where it'll fit in this page and not overlap. It does look like a donkey now. Let's find a shape that still looks like a kangaroo, but that's a little bit different. Yeah, that might work. Okay. I'm doing the same trick. I am selecting all, Command copying, and Command pasting. The shortcut is Command A, Command C for copy, and Command V for paste. All right, this will fit there, but we're going to have to do rotation just to make it fit in there. So again, that's back to edit, transform, rotate. We can rotate it so that it'll fit right in there. Perfect. We are continuing to make new kangaroos. We're going to transform and flip horizontal to change the direction. And we're going to also go ahead and create another kangaroo and maybe make an in-between size. Give us some variety of size. Edit, transform, scale. Yeah, fit it right in there. I wanted to show you, if you wanted to go in, you can with the paintbrush. That's what I just selected. You can pick the white and go in there and create an anomaly by, in this case, we're just painting some dots in there just to show you. If you wanted to put some circles, stripes, whatever you wanted to do. This is also going to introduce you to something called the history palette. And it's up on the upper right here. It may not be visible. If not, you will go to the window, drop down to history, reveal it, and it has recorded your steps. So we can go back to just before we put the first circle on there of white and erase it, just going back in time. That's handy. We're going to go ahead and save this to the computer as a layered file, so we have all of the layers intact so that we can go back to the file and manipulate it. Do save it then to your Google Drive. Don't leave it on the computer, please. And I like to title my layered files with the word layer in the file name somewhere. Now to print to the printer, we don't need a big file, and we don't need all of those layers. We don't even need that size. So we're going to use the crop tool and crop out the excessive stage. Hit return key to accept our crop. Go to the layer flatten image so we can get rid of all those extra layers, and then save as. Again, temporarily to the computer, identify it as flat. We're going to save it as a TIFF this time. And we are ready to file, print. It's also a shortcut Command P. Find the active laser printer, how many copies you need, and print.